How's it going, everybody? It is your boy here, the Bee's Knees, and welcome to the final day of Fan Expo San Francisco. I'm super excited to wrap this last day up of my last con of the 2023 year. I'm super excited to be able to go out in my Spidey suit today. I'm just chilling, getting things ready. My dad and Casey are gonna go down and check out the pier. Go check out Ewan McGregor's panel, which I'm super excited for. I'm curious as to what they're gonna do with it, because my dad and Casey ended up going to a Hobbits panel last night, and they played Family Feud, and it looked really cool. And then of course at Hayden's we played those games on our phones, the little would you rather kind of games with him. So I'm wondering if they're gonna play any games with Ewan, or if it's gonna be more of a Q&A type scenario, or what's going on. But nonetheless, I'm super excited, so let's go ahead and get ready to wrap this con season up, guys. Alrighty guys, so we just checked out of the room and now we are walking over to the convention center. Honestly, there's just a certain vibe about walking through a big city dressed like Spider-Man. I dig it. But I'm excited to go over to the con center and check things out, so let's go. Yeah, this is a vibe. Walking around the city dressed like Spider-Man. Feels like I have responsibilities. Checking out the dealer's den. This is the downstairs one with the bigger shops and stuff. This is where we were on Friday. Honestly, I've had my eye on this Mustafar wood carving piece thing, and I'm hoping it's still there because I seen it on Friday, but I didn't buy it. And so I'm making a beeline for that shop to see if it's still there because I really want it. So unfortunately the Mustafar thing is gone, but I'm hoping I can still find some cool pop figures. I really want an Anakin and Obi-Wan pop figure, so we're looking around for that, I suppose. So I'm getting some shopping in. I've been straight hustling. I got $700 worth of stuff for $250. I am very proud of myself. But we're just going up onto the second floor, and if I can find a spot to sit down, I'll show you guys what we got. But we're gonna go check out the artist alley and go see some cool stuff that these individual personal artists got. So yeah. Alrighty guys, we're just stopping for a little break in the dealer's den right now. I did some shopping. I'm going to show you guys everything that I got. But kind of a cool experience that happened. I was on the second floor in the artist alley, and I was going through this lady's Star Wars art, and she was just chilling there, said hi to me. I hear a little kid come up behind me and say, "Excuse me," and I move, and dude, it's little Leia from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and she came up because her mom had bought her some artwork from that artist that I was talking to, a custom piece, and it was just really cool to sit there. And I sat there and I got to talk with her mom and stuff like that, and her mom was really chill, and we were just hanging out there for a bit, and then I came back up to the third floor because we have to get ready to line up for Obi-Wan's panel. But it turns out they're not even going to start lining up for that for another hour, and so I'm okay, well, I'll just come up here and chill at these tables then for a little bit, take a snack and a water break. But I figured I would show you guys what I got while I'm here. So I finally managed to find one of these bad boys. Normally everyone here is selling these for $100-$150, and I found this really nice dealer who sold it to me for $20 because he's trying to get rid of stuff. And dude, I have been wheeling and dealing today. I have saved myself so much money just hustling, kind of a deal. I bought this cool comic book set. It's an original comic book series called Calico, and this is all the current issues of it that are out, and he is a cat superhero that fights against animal abuse, so I thought that was really cool. I'm gonna check that out. And then this was my first hustle of the day, because normally these would have been $150 for both of them, but I got both of them for $55, and it's Spitfire and a limited edition Rainbow Dash, and these are two of my favorite Zoomy girls from My Little Pony, so I was super happy to have found these. And then these ones I was super happy about because normally on Sideshow or the Big Bad Toy Store, where I got my Obi-Wan figure and my Bumblebee, these are $300 a piece, and I got both of them for $100, so $50 a piece, brand new, unopened in the box. So I got Obi-Wan and Anakin Clone Wars figures, so I'm super excited about that. But yeah, con has been going good. I'm just gonna chill here for a little bit longer, take a break, and then we're gonna get ready to line up for Ewan's panel. So we made it into Ewan's panel, and I'm literally in the front row. Bro, I am like so close right now.
But Fan Expo San Francisco, in 5 minutes time, Ewan McGregor's on this stage as the crowd applauds wildly!
Ewan McGregor!
Scottish, I should be used to this kind of thing.
Well, we're going to kick off with a few questions, and then we're going to go to some fan questions that were submitted online.
Yeah.
So very excited for that.
Okay, cool.
When you book a role, how do you approach the preparation for the character?
It's it's different every time. Some characters require some sort of technical research, or maybe you have to do a skill. Your character's good at something that you don't know what to do, so you have to sort of physically learn something, or maybe you have to get fit. You know, for this Kenobi series, I knew that I was 20 years older than I'd been when we did the prequels, and I knew that I could remember how physically exhausting those fight sequences were in the prequels. So I had to get myself fit in order just to be able to do them, you know, properly in the series as an older chap. And but it depends. Sometimes not. Sometimes once you've read the script, your subconscious imagination is doing all the work, and you don't have to think about it until you get on stage, on set. It just depends.
Would you say that Obi-Wan Kenobi was one of the more difficult, coming back to him to prepare for, or which character was the most difficult to prepare for?
No, they're none of. I've never seen what I do in any way as difficult. So there's different challenges, but I've never found any of it. I've never found it difficult as such. Because it's not really like that. It's not something that's hard or difficult. It's something that's. Coming back to playing him again was like it was just a dream. It was nice. It was so easy, to put we had to do some camera tests. This is the first time where I met Vivian for the first time. We did some camera tests and with other actors, and I was in just to read scenes with them, and it was a few months before we started doing the actual series. So I hadn't thought about it very much. I came in and to the studio, and his wardrobe, Obi-Wan's wardrobe was hanging up, and I was sort of like flummoxed when I looked at that for the first time. I was like, oh my God. So I put that back on, and that was like another oh my goodness moment. And then I went on set, and we were shooting on the Mandalorian's set on a Sunday when they weren't shooting, and but we used a lot of their crew. And so when I walked out as him again, dressed as him at least, I could feel it in the crew, and I realized, oh my gosh, this is kind of a big moment, And then I came to read the scenes with the different actors. They were reading for different roles, and it didn't sound like him at all, I hadn't thought about it, and I just assumed that it would be there, but it wasn't. I was doing a sort of English accent and not Obi-Wan at all. And so I was a bit embarrassed, like reading with the other actors, and then I realized that was something that I had to address. So I went back and I just sat down and watched all of the Star Wars films from through the prequels and then the original three, and that was really useful for me too. And then I'll have a.
If you could rewind time and get to play any character in the Star Wars universe other than Obi-Wan Kenobi, who would you pick and why?
Oh dear. Well.
No pressure.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Well, I think I'm just trying to throw my mind back to being a little boy seeing the film for the first time, and I remember standing outside my school. I was 6. With my big brother, who's 2 years older than me, in our school uniform with our red socks, and waiting for my mum and dad to pick us up, to take us to the big city to watch a movie that my uncle was in. And so we're super excited to see Uncle Dennis on the big screen, like that hadn't happened before. So we're so excited. And then we went there and sat down, and it was Star Wars. It was like, I mean, you can imagine my tiny mind being blown apart. And I'm trying to remember that wee boy. I think I would have wanted to play Han Solo, I think, probably. Not that I could have done. Not that I'm saying I would have been any better at all. I certainly wouldn't have come close to Harrison's performance. But that character appealed to me, for sure.
Very nice. Well, Cosmic Mycelia on Instagram asked, if there was one thing, a value, a message, a philosophy that you would hope that people would take away from the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi, what would you want it to be?
I mean, I think in the series we got to sort of explore something that was important that I hadn't realized about him maybe in the prequels, but this idea of acceptance. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it was hard for him to be. I do beg your pardon. I'm trying to answer a very serious question. That kind of heckling just won't do, you know? Oh, goodness gracious, where was I? The knocking about with the little Leia, and how he hasn't got very paternal instincts as such, you know, because I guess of his background and been learning to be a Jedi since he was tiny, and then learning to accept and to understand. And I suppose those are sometimes very difficult for adults, those ideas. But I think that would be one of an answer to our question, the idea of being understanding and acceptance of people for who they are.
That's a good message from Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Since Moulin Rouge, I'm starting to wonder, maybe take it a bit personally, but I'm not like fending off scripts for musical. I don't know that I've ever been offered one since. Lumiere, sorry, yes, absolutely, Lumiere, yes. I did a bit of singing in that, and I did a bit of singing in Pinocchio. I got to do a little song at the end of that. I did that in my caravan during COVID lockdown. All of Pinocchio I recorded in my caravan on my own with Guillermo del Toro in my ear. Yeah, it was good. Just shows what you can do. So I'd be very up for it. I love singing, and I love the musical genre, and I would be I'd be so lucky to do another one. I'd love to.
Excellent. Acol Lauren LOL on Instagram asked, you've played a wide variety of characters throughout your career. Is there any kind of character you haven't gotten to play yet that you want to?
I don't know till you read it, really. I don't think so. I don't. Also, people are unique, you know. It's not like there are kinds.
Less yes, definitely robots. Yes. What is like the difference for you between voicing and then screen acting?
Well, the real answer is that the animations are really boring. Like you do them it's just so picky, and you do them over and over and over and over and over again, and you also do them entirely alone. There was one, I did an animation in Britain. I played a pigeon in a World War II. What was it called? Valiant, thank you. Valiant, and there was a comedian in Britain who was also in it, and the first time I went in to record that, I did a few scenes. He was playing another role, and we actually recorded together. But generally speaking, you do them on your own, and sometimes the director behind the glass there will be reading in, but it's a very myopic sort of endeavor, whereas acting with other actors and in the real situations is much more fulfilling, I would say.
Very nice. Yeah. Mason Rye on Instagram.
Not going to get offered any more animations, am I? That's it.
Hopefully you keep doing it. But how did your experience differ between filming the Star Wars prequels and then filming Obi-Wan Kenobi, since you were not only just acting but also a producer on the project?
Yeah, It was very, very different. Also because mainly because of the technology had gone on, has progressed so much, and we had that big volume. You know, we had a screen, like a 300-degree screen on the set that played all the backgrounds, and so it felt much more realistic. It wasn't just blue screen or green screen, which was the experience of doing the prequels. Was very much like a lot of the time we were just in a blue set or a green set with no set, and that's again, it's more satisfying when you're in the real environment, you know, and that's what it felt like doing that. In all of them, I remember rehearsing with Hayden back when he started, and we shot the second episode, the second movie in Australia, in Sydney. There was a time when the studios in Sydney were being used a lot, and so we shot episode 2 and episode 3 down there. And he, of course, wasn't in the first film, and then arrived in the second film, and I was just I was so happy to meet him, and I knew that we were going to be in these 2 movies at least together, and he was just such a lovely guy, such a lovely man, and a passionate young actor, and he came in, and we, you know, the first things we ended up doing together were the fight training, you know, the rehearsals for all the lightsaber fights, and so that was how I got to know him really, in there, working with Nick Gillard, the stunt coordinator on the prequels, and yeah, we got on really, really well. You know, we were away from home, and so we hung out a lot together. It was great. I'm trying to think of. I don't think if there's any like funny. I know people love a funny story. I can't think of like a funny one where we fell off a camel or something. But I don't know. Just I was very. I'm still really happy to be working. I love him so much. It's so nice to have had this chance to come back together again and have a big fight sequence again in this in the Kenobi series. Was just fantastic.
It's definitely very exciting as fans to see the two of you again together on.
I got to act with Darth Vader in this series, and I hadn't acted with Darth Vader before, and it was totally terrifying. Like the first, completely became the first fight scene we have in the series was in episode 3, I think, and we're shooting in this big disused gasworks in the east end of LA, like just not where you would imagine you'd find yourself shooting something from Star Wars, but there we were at night, and we'd rehearsed this fight, and I was getting ready, and they said, okay, ready for the first take, and they were doing my makeup, and Darth Vader's over there, but we'd been rehearsing obviously without the full costume, full suit on, so I hadn't seen him, and then they went action, and I had to be walking away, and he comes at me over my shoulder, I'm walking away, and I hear him, and I turn, and fucking Darth Vader's coming at me. Oh my God, excuse me if there's children in here, I'm so sorry. Sorry. But it was a terrifying moment to see him. I was suddenly like 6 again, you know, the primal fear of Darth Vader. It was great. And stormtroopers as well. I didn't work with stormtroopers before. I don't think, that's right, isn't it? I was clones.
Yes.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Is that right?
I was terrified. You know so much more about it than I do. You know, it's terrifying. Okay, I won't bring up any more Star Wars things.
That's unfortunate, because we are playing it. You're going to see how your answers stack up to the answers that the fans gave before the panel.
Okay.
So you'll be looking right down here at the viewfinder. So if you are going on vacation, where are you choosing to go? Coruscant or Naboo?
Coruscant. I know my way around much better. I don't know.
Well, it looks like the audience would go to Naboo.
Okay.
But, you know, I think Coruscant's a good answer.
Well, I've got a unique... I was at work there, wasn't I? That's where I had my office.
Vacationing close to where you worked. Excellent. Question 2.
And I haven't been back since the Order of 60, so it's been a while. It'd be nice to see the old place, you know.
So if you are choosing a weapon, are you choosing a blaster or a lightsaber?
Come on. Lightsaber.
Excellent.
So civilized.
Which is a very popular answer.
Get yourself right up and close to the action, you know what I mean?
Yes. What was it like to have your lightsaber back for Obi-Wan Kenobi? I mean, how exciting was that?
Well, it was very exciting. And but they're different. They've moved. When me and Hayden were fighting in the episode 2 and 3, our lightsabers were, and in episode 1 with Liam and Ray Park, we were using lightsabers that were handles that look like our nice handles, but they're smooth. They're smooth to fight with, so you can spin them. They don't tear your hands up. So you got a sort of smoother handle, and then we had a metal pole, like a rod, and it was made of, I don't know, some kind of alloy. And there was a guy, I've always wished I'd remember his name, but he would stand on the side of the set, and his job was just making lightsabers, because after every take, we would they'd be bent, because it's full contact when you're doing these fights. That's why you have to learn them so accurately. And occasionally we'd hit each other's, you often got your knuckles wrapped, which isn't much fun.
Bro,
but the blades would be bent after every take, and he'd have to replace the blades. But on the Kenobi series, as you can see here, that light is on set. Like, the lightsabers do light up now, which is nice because you get all that lighting effect. And there's an amazing moment at the end with Hayden when his helmet's cracked, where the light goes from blue to red, and it was totally an accident. It was just something that we were doing with our lightsabers during that scene that made the blue light come off and the red light come on, and it was like, oh, that's nice, that works. So we sort of lent into it, but it was just purely an accident. So for lighting it's better, but I have to say, for the actual sword fighting, when the contact isn't as firm, because they're made of a hard plastic, but there's a slight boing when you hit each other. I sort of yearn a bit for the old metal days, you know, but that's me.
All right, question 3.
Okay.
Which droid? I know, this is a tough one.
I can't, I mean, that's impossible. That's not fair. I mean, I'm lucky. I worked with Danny Baker on episode 1. He was inside R2-D2, as he was in the original movies. And Anthony, I know, I've worked with Anthony and C3. I can't, it wouldn't be right to choose, would it?
You have to.
You talked about crushing one of them. I mean, I was backstage, I heard what you're gonna do. That's not fair.
R4.
Yeah, R4, that's it. That's my out. Thank you very much. I couldn't possibly. I love them both so much. You couldn't possibly.
It works.
Yeah. I'm just gonna take the 5th on this one. I'm not doing it.
All right, question 4. Oh, the hair. Which one would you pick?
Goodness, that clip, the mullet clip. I like that swing though. That's a nice wee lightsaber spin there in the first to the left one. Mm-hmm. I go for Padawan braid.
I think that's a good pick. And it looks like it was not the popular pick, but it should have
I got
been.
any that were? I don't think I've got one, have I?
They just don't know what they're wanting to
No,
pick.
I'm just alternative, that's it.
All right, question 5. Which fight? Mustafar or Vancor?
Here's a story about Mustafar. This is funny. So when we're shooting this, we were in Australia and we shot the film, and then we came back some months later. George always liked to do pickups, like once he'd had a chance to edit the film, we'd always come back and do 2-3 weeks of pickups, and sometimes whole new scenes, sometimes just lying from this scene or a pick or something. And on this one, we were in London on stage doing pickups for this fight on Mustafar. And I heard that Robert De Niro was going to come to the stage, to the set, with it, because he had his kids in London and knew George, and he was going to pop by to say hello. And I don't know about you, but for me, like, the idea of meeting Robert De Niro was like totally mind-blowing. I was beyond excited that I might actually meet him. He's like an absolute hero. And so we go on set, and Hayden and I are standing on a green. We're on a green stage, and there's a disc. Have you heard this story? No. So there's a disc, and it's off the ground about a foot. And so I'm standing on it with my lightsaber. And over here's another one, and Hayden's on his. And lying on the floor is a man, and lying on his floor is a man, because they're they rotate these discs, and the man is making us turn around like this. He's over there and he's going this way, swiping at me. And as we're doing this, I thought, not a very sexy moment, I would say, that we cut. And as we're waiting to do the next take, he goes, I heard that De Niro might be here. And my prop guy hadn't stopped turning me around. And as I was turning, I saw De Niro behind the monitor. I was like, it's too late, he's here. Oh no. So I was like this, going like this. Oh boy. So humiliating. And I was lucky to meet him some years later. And I told him the story. I was like, I'm so embarrassed. He was like, no, what? He didn't think it was embarrassing. Anyway, so I would say, and then that fight, Vanguard's where is that the one?
It's the rematch.
Oh, that's the end one.
Yes.
Oh, let's go for Mustafa, because we were younger then. Yeah.
And there you go. Mustafar was indeed the popular opinion.
What was wrong with Vanguard? That's not a good score for that one. 21%.
Just means we'll have to do it again.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess so.
All right, question 6.
There's more?
This is the last one, so make it good. Are you choosing Jedi or Sith?
But for what? I mean, there's a...
You're gonna become one of these. You're
Sorry?
either gonna be a Jedi
Oh,
or a Sith. So
well,
you
I
can
am a
choose.
Jedi, so
You
I-
are. I guess we're gonna see, what did the audience pick? Naturally, they picked Jedi because they knew they were going to see a Jedi Master.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This was great. So many good stories. Excellent.
Thank you. And thanks so much. It's always so touching to meet you all at these events, and this one no less than any of the others. It's been so lovely to meet you and take photographs with you and sign your autographs. I do love it. You're the best fans anyone could ever hope for. And I love you all. Take care.
Applebee's. Well, guys, we just got out of Ewan's panel. I am like freezing because there was fans blowing on me in there the whole time. Casey's little guys in the back seat, all buckled up, snug as a bug in a rug. Hey. But we were just chilling, loaded down with stuff. We're headed out, and that was Fan Expo. It was an awesome last convention for the year. My dad's trying to take someone to Applebee's
to
over
take a
here.
sharp left turn to merge onto I-80 toward Bay Bridge.
That car looked goofy,
Take a sharp
bro.
left turn.
My dad got me a birthday gift. He's going to bring me a birthday gift for my birthday party or birthday gift. Happy birthday. He got me a birthday gift. He got me this like expensive Obi-Wan figure I was looking at on Friday that I didn't want to spend that much money on, and my dad wheeled and dealed him down and got me the figure for my birthday. Anyways, guys, like I said, thank you for watching. Thank you for experiencing Fan Expo with us, and we'll see you guys next year at the beginning of the 2024 con season. So, peace. You want to say bye, Dad?
Bye, Dad.
Bye.
Later.